Who was the first legal slave owner in slavery history in this country? Who was the first legal slave owner? Does anybody know his name? Nobody know his name? Anthony Johnson. Have you ever heard of Anthony Johnson? What color do you think Anthony Johnson is? He's black. Go look it up. Don't believe me. I know that some people. Raise your hand if you think I'm lying. Raise your hand. I'm not gonna get hurt. I'm not feeling gonna get hurt. Anthony Johnson, first legal slave owner in our history of slavery in this country, was a black man. Go look it up. They got his stuff plastered everywhere. But they won't tell y'all that in school because they needed to be the white man.
You may not have heard the last part because of that stupid graphic, but he said, they won't tell us that the first legally owned slave was owned by a black man in school because it's got to be a white man. You have to applaud his dedication to his craft. Here he is at another Turning Point USA event talking to white people about how black people not only were slave owners, they were the first legal slave owners. Just as a refresher, let's hear from the founder of Turning Point USA.
If we would have said that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot.
So there's that. Of course, Turning Point USA wants to attempt to minimize the effect of race-based chattel slavery perpetuated by the Europeans on this land against black people. And they do that by putting a black face on it. So why is this guy named Officer Tatum going along with it? Who knows? Let's take the information that we've learned in this clip and let's apply just a little bit of critical thinking to it. They're not going to do it, so let's do it together. Okay, so the guy wants the audience to believe that the first legally owned slave in what would become the U.S. was owned by a black man. He says, don't believe what he says, and trust me, we don't. We can look it up. In all honesty, it doesn't even matter. Even if he's correct, we're going to apply critical thinking to destroy his stupid reasoning for his argument. Ready? Let's do it. Now, critical thinking is really easy. It's just asking questions based on the dumb thing somebody just said. So the first question I would ask the creator of this idiotic post is who legalized it? The would-be black slave owner had to get some sort of approval to get it legalized, right? We all know that black people at this time were in no position to legalize anything, so the answer is anybody? Anybody? White people. When critical thinking is applied, the next logical question would be, what color or race was the slave that the would-be black slave owner was trying to own? Can anybody guess?
He's black!
You are absolutely right. He was black. And we know that because it was only legal for black people to be owned as slaves. I said it before and I'll say it again. In the system of white supremacy, people like Officer Tatum and Turning Point USA will try to take the onus off the brutality of race-based chattel slavery off of white people towards black people. After all, it couldn't have been about race if black people did it too. But we're smarter than that. We pay no attention to who is permitted to be the oppressors. We concentrate our attention on who is legally allowed to be the victims.